Hey, I'm Ian.
And I'm Cadaver Kelly.
And welcome to a special Bootblacks edition of Obscura Undead. And today we have with us
Bootblacks.
the special edition.
That's us.
Hello. There you go.
All right, so with me I have
Barrett.
Panther.
Allie.
Larry.
Larry at the end there. Larry with an L? Yeah, okay. All right, so here we are. So we're going to be, they're down here in Tampa, Florida for Absolution Fest. This is your second time coming down here, and it's one of your probably first shows coming back, playing live again.
Yeah. This was
So
our fourth back in just the last month. We started up again. And so far so good.
Yeah.
Cool. And what's so big about this time around for you? You guys have a new album out, right?
Well, it's actually a year old now.
It's not actually new now.
We put it out in the middle of the pandemic, and sadly we couldn't tour and support it. But it's nice to finally be able to play these songs live. And
Yeah, it's the first time for a lot of these songs.
Cool. All right, so go ahead, Kelly. Take it away.
Coming back after so long not playing music, how has the energy compared to before the shutdown?
The before times.
It's better. I think people are very excited. Like, first of all, we're super excited to be playing live again, right? But I think it's on the opposite side as well. So the audience is like
hungry.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah. I think everyone's excited to be back, and we're social animals, so yeah.
Yeah, so I know that you have some shows coming up with Modern English. How did that come about? Did that come up through Artifact?
Well, we don't have. Well,
They've been canceled.
They've
been postponed.
Well, it's postponed.
Yeah.
They're having, a lot of people are having issues coming into the country, so I think they've been postponed till spring.
Yeah.
But
Another year. Yeah.
It'll
far as how they
probably
keep
it'll
it
probably
going.
be a more extensive tour actually though, so it might actually work out.
Yeah, we're kind of still in this in between phase where people are feeling weird about touring or not. So I don't know. I think we're on the path to keep going.
So that's something for everyone to look forward to in 2022, the Modern English Tour.
Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah.
We're looking forward to it.
Yeah.
They're a
Legends,
huge influence,
heroes.
and yeah, we can't wait.
So before the shutdown, you toured around a lot. You've played a lot of cities. Out of all of the places that you've played shows, which is the place that's most likely for an alien abduction to take place?
Tampa.
And why?
Tampa.
Because Tampa.
I think it's a self-fulfilling question or answer.
Because
I don't know. What am I saying?
Well, I think they really just want to go to the castle.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
we're just
yeah.
benefiting from that.
Okay, great answer. Think the aliens are down to party at the goth club.
That's right. Yeah.
All right. And along the lines of the alien abduction, if you are one of those victims or travelers with these aliens, would you prefer your meals to
That's
be
a privilege.
the privilege? Would it be
Take me over.
your sandwiches made with creamy or chunky peanut butter?
Oh, really?
Creamy.
I'm by peanut butter. I'll do either, and I just absolutely don't care. I'll take any brand. I'm open for everything.
Wow, easy going.
Mm-hmm.
Creamy.
Creamy. Wow. Very interesting. Fascinating. So,
Yeah.
any more on the alien abduction route, or we?
I think we can call it a wrap on the alien stuff. But along the lines of the chunky creamy question, did you have another food related question?
Oh yes. So this one comes from Azzy of Obscura Undead, and they would like to know: do you prefer soft or crunchy shell tacos?
Ooh, soft.
I want to say soft because it's the cooler answer, but I'm a crunchy man.
Crunchy all the way.
Crunchy, Larry.
Whatever she
Wow. No, see, like as the drummer, I would think you'd want like some crunch. You'd be like all
You're
about.
not a crunchy
No,
man?
you
There's
gotta-
more rhythm to the crunch.
You gotta get in the frame, Kelly.
Oh yeah, get in here. No, Larry's got. That's how this interview has kind of gone today. We started out at the pool area, but Tampa, and like even when it's the heat is on. It's a Glen Fry kind of day.
We are professional journalists.
We are. We get paid big bucks.
All right, so I heard a story at brunch today, and I have to ask you about it. What's the deal with the pineapples?
That has to do with Sean Templar.
That's right.
And it has to do with his Twitch streaming stuff. I was actually hanging out with a man in sandals and board shorts, and he told me it's a swinger thing. So that's new information for me, but I don't think that's what Sean's into.
All right.
Yes, this is.
I
you
think-
looked at me like this is a crazy thing.
Well, it was also a pizza thing.
It's a pizza thing.
There was a big debate on his stream about whether or not to put pineapple on pizza, and he was
Oh, that's actually the real
very
story.
against it.
I think I just met a creepy guy.
Well, he's also yeah. You gotta watch out for him. But I say no on the
Was it
pineapple
you
on
into
pizza.
pineapples? I was like, what are you talking about?
And that's you kind of brought this up. Unless you had another question.
No, go for it.
All right, so we mentioned streaming. That's how a lot of us survived as either DJs and even bands during the pandemic is connecting with the fans. Were all of you going to the streams, or because we would see Bootblacks pop in into a lot of these streams to say hi and check
It's
out what's
actually
going on?
None of us. It's just
So
somebody-
somebody posing as Bootblacks, right?
That's really Barrett. Barrett is a good social person. I shouldn't be allowed to type in any medium. So
That's true.
yeah, no, it's very bad. So yeah, but yeah. So
we have a
fair.
group chat and we're texting each other
Yes.
constantly, and I'm like, what is he saying? I
Yeah,
don't know.
I can decipher it now.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you speak Panther.
Somewhere between Cyrillic and stupid.
Cyrillic.
But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's Barrett, but that's okay because he's a good representative for the band. So.
Did any of you check out any of the streams at all? Did you?
Yeah,
Take time.
I just remain silent because again,
Well,
It can be intimidating if you're not like either the one streaming, obviously, but when you don't know everybody in the chat. But we did see like a community kind of come together throughout it, and there were a lot of people that discovered your music.
Yeah.
Because of
Yeah.
hate saying because of the pandemic, but that was how they were exposed to it.
No, I mean it's hard to kind of say that there was a benefit from the pandemic, but I think the Twitch thing and the DJ culture like really embraced it and did the most with it. I also feel like we had a benefit from it because we put the album out during the pandemic.
Yeah.
So the old model is to tour and to do these things, but in a strange way, I think people's attention span was kind of present a lot. So it's hard to say that there was a positive from the pandemic because of all people died. But I think it kind of restructured our society and kind of what we value or the way we consume media. So to look at it that way, I think there was a silver lining.
An unfortunate one, but it wasn't a complete.
I mean, that's a silver lining.
Yeah,
right?
that's the best you can get out of it.
It's
So,
true.
So now the album that came out during the pandemic, how was that like filming videos? And because some of those videos you could tell like you're together, but you're still trying to stay apart, and like you could tell it was probably rougher filming because of the conditions. How did that go about?
Well, we had planned even before the pandemic, like when we were still writing the album and getting it ready to go, like we wanted to do a video for every track on the album. That was the goal. So when the pandemic hit, we didn't want to stop working. We just kept rolling. So a lot of the videos we kind of just put in other people's hands and said, do your thing. I mean, like you could see we're actually not really in a lot of them. In fact, we're only in like one of them.
Yeah.
So it was fun and collaborative. We were fortunate that we are friends with so many creative people, and everybody really kind of got on board and wanted to help out. And it was a two-way street, right? Like it was nice to help motivate our friends as well to, not be complacent and
Yeah, it was the creative projects.
Yeah.
What I think was like no one knew the length of how much downtime we would have and how long it would go on. So it was kind of nice to have creative projects going on during that time. Something to be kind of excited about. Yeah. That's why we did like the live streams as well, which was depressing but interesting. No, we played clubs in New York that usually are,
full of people,
and it was a kind of surreal experience to do it empty. But I don't know. I hope it was rewarding for me, and I was hoping that it also helped people out where they feel stuck to have some kind of live content or music video, something to.
Yeah. Well, it was the same thing with the remix album too. Like it was kind of a continuation of that same like collaborative spirit, and working with a lot of our friends, just kind of keep each other in check in a way. Like
Yeah. I know that you're from Brooklyn. So how does the music scene or the dark post-punk music scene up there compare to down here in Tampa?
Tampa is crazy. It's great, to be honest. I'm always like actually kind of surprised because I don't have much context for Florida, let alone Tampa, but the music scene down here is really vibrant, and people are I don't know, I love it. I actually look forward to it every time. Well, that's the second time, but it's been 2 years. So to be fair, but honestly, like it's really vibrant, and I wouldn't want to like throw a condition on the state of the New York music scene, but it's definitely different. I think there's like a liveliness here, and I'm just surprised how many people there are. Like, I had no idea. So I love it.
Very cool.
Oh, to ask now. Oh yeah. So we saw on social media, and I know talking to Barrett, who went to go to Disney, who went and did all the Star Wars stuff, and
we're trying to look good in this interview, and we're hard nerds.
We are huge nerds.
Yeah.
In fact, our friendship spawned from our love of Star Wars, actually. Yeah. And it's a huge reason why I'm even in this band.
It's actually the main reason. Yeah.
So
we
thank you, George Lucas. You just made another $1 million for us plugging Star Wars again. So.
We were celebrating at the altar of George Lucas.
When we played 2 years ago, we went to Disney, just Panther and I, and we went hard. We did all 4 parks in one day. We really.
This is not a humble brag. This is a full brag, and fuck you if you can't do it out there, people.
Yeah, you gotta
get your shit together.
You gotta have a plan. You gotta have the fast pass. You gotta make it work.
Yeah, get your life together. Okay.
when we did it 2 years ago, we were posting all these pictures and stuff, and Sean Templar got really upset with us.
Who's a minor friend and minor personality that we know, we drag him along. So yeah.
He was really bummed that we didn't invite him. Mm-hmm. So this time around, we made it a point. We're like, okay, you're coming along. We're going to do it. So we went back with him, and we had a blast. It was great.
Yeah, cool. And did you guys get to do anything exciting here in Florida?
I think we flew in that night, and we went out and had some dinner, and had some Bud Lights in bed.
That's
a good night for me.
I'm just going to tell you, the pool's been great.
Yeah.
Thank you, pool.
It is true.
The staff here at the hotel have been fantastic. They
actually have. It's some of the wildest characters
we showed up after the show at like midnight, and we were like, "Hey, can we go in the hot tub?" And they were like, "You got it." So we appreciate that, and they're letting us use this lovely conference room.
Shout out to Hilton Garden.
Yeah, thank you, Hilton Garden,
thank
and
you.
Ybor.
And also, anyone who wants to stick around, I'm doing a lecture about insurance brokering. So I'll be here.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Make sure to sign up for the timeshare at the end of the presentation.
It's a great deal.
All right, so I saw online you recently played Cold Waves in Chicago, and you had a promotional video on your social media for it. It was a take on Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
It is.
Whose idea was that, and how long did it take to make that video?
Well, first of all, Chicago, I'm looking at you. We love Chicago. We've had I think Chicago, for whatever reason, is probably kind of our de facto home city. And we've always done a parody or something fun to honor all the, good times we had there. So the idea was just that we have to do something for Chicago every time. So we have a bar to meet. And the video took 25, 30 minutes.
Well, it turned out great.
No time at all.
That includes the editing. That includes everything.
Yeah. So I actually commuted 2.5 hours to film for under a half hour, and whatever. It's a fun tradition that we want to keep going. Like, I don't know, this kind of joke thing we have in Chicago, but in all honesty, it's like kind of our home away from home. So
When
they've
we
been
were
very
there-
good to us.
When we were there and we were playing, we hung out for the whole weekend, and I can't tell you, more people came up to us saying that they enjoyed that more than our live show.
It's great. We're transitioning out of a band to doing parody memes on the internet. So
There you go.
and you know what? That's where.
That's the highest form of artistic media, honestly.
Yeah. Music's just a stepping stone. Yeah.
Okay. So I understand there's a song about a dog. Is that for you, Lois? Right.
Yes.
So can you explain the history of that?
Wait, before we go there, how did you find that out?
I don't even remember how I found that. Somebody was like, "Oh, that's their dog." It was one of the members' dogs, and I was like, "I got to hear more about this." So I was been kind of curious for like almost a year now to ask you guys. Like, can you explain that?
I have a big soft spot for animals. I've always been an animal lover my whole life, and one of my, I don't know, it's weird. Like, you have a connection with an animal. And it sounds, I don't know, it sounds weird to say sometimes because, So my dog was Lois, and she was my best friend, and she died very suddenly. It was actually a liver splint. She was only 4 years old, so I felt like I didn't have a lot of time. But also there was a couple other things. I had a lot of family members pass at the same time, so I felt kind of overwhelmed by mortality and grief. That's not to take it away from Lois. So actually, here's a trivia piece, is that the bracelets that I have here have her ashes in them. So
That's really cool.
and it's hard to say, like, I loved her very much, but also, I don't know, it was more of a projection about mortality as well. So, yeah. It was about a dog.
That's a really nice, really good story.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. And actually, yeah. So, yeah.
I cried in the studio.
Yeah, we all did.
Yeah.
any more questions?
Yeah. We can talk about bullshit again. So.
Oh, yeah.
Back to lighter conversation.
Okay, who is the worst Beatle and why?
Who is the worst Beatle? Wow, that is a hot take.
That's you, buddy.
Oh.
That's all you.
No, you gotta ask if it's a
Lord.
drop thing. You
The
gotta ask like
worst
who's
Beatle.
the
Worst
Oh.
Beatle.
who's the worst member?
You
Like,
can
I don't
interpret
know.
that. a lot of
I'll
ways.
be honest. This is an unpopular take in these times in this music scene. I love the Beatles. So yeah, like again, it's very like cheeky to not like them anymore, but I love them. So, well, John Lennon was an asshole. Paul McCartney was a narcissist and probably wanted too much money.
Yeah, that's tough.
I'm not going to throw George Harrison on the bus. I think he's good soul.
George is the best.
Ringo, some bad solo albums.
Yeah, what are we judging on character?
Yeah.
I mean, you can make up your own criteria and let me know why.
I'm gonna go.
Like
I'm gonna go
professionally, or are
full.
we
I'm gonna go
talking, like,
full
personally?
wild style here. I'm gonna say the worst Beatle was John Lennon, but he was also the best Beatle.
Okay.
How's that? Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
Very cryptic.
Yeah.
but okay.
Yeah. It's cryptic. Slide in my DMs. I'll tell you about John Lennon.
It does make sense.
I'm just fucking around.
All right, you got any bullshit questions here?
All right, I guess more bullshit. Then let's go. Like, who's the worst band member of like Bauhaus?
The worst.
The worst?
Yeah.
Again, I gotta go. What are we going? Like Peter? What are you doing?
Peter. It's Peter.
He's the
I
best.
feel
He's
like
the best
everyone-
and worst. He's the
Yeah, that
best.
was too easy. Everyone's
a
like,
good
pick the
question.
movie.
But this is always the answer. The worst is the best.
It is kind of true, actually, in that case as well.
Magnetic dickhead energy.
No one's gonna come for David J.
I mean, who knows better?
Or Daniel Ash.
Yeah. And if you're going to ask the question, I am the best and worst person of this band. So there you go. Yeah.
Oh
It's true.
yeah. Let's ask that question.
Yeah.
Who's the best and the worst in the band?
It's me.
And go down the line.
It's
It's
one,
all of you,
actually.
It's me.
all in one in the same.
Yeah, I'm all,
So that's a unanimous one.
Yeah.
All right, that's
Yeah.
Give me the bullshit.
That honestly should be a point of pride to be the best and the worst.
I really set myself up for
Yeah,
that.
you
That's why tee it up.
Oh,
No, how do I follow up with that?
we go back to serious questions because I guess the only
do you have serious
the only
questions
thing I can
left?
think of is like what comes next. Like you guys are touring like fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You've got new material coming, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we're,
um,
we're
And also-
always working. Always working.
Yeah. So we're going to try for early next year to record with the singer Jason Corbett of Actors, who is sadly missed. But yeah, so that's the idea. We have actually too much material, so we'll have to probably figure out what we're going to do. But that's the idea of early next year. Besides the touring, and the touring is great because we haven't done it for a long time. So it's like it's the best part about being in a band.
well, no, I remember when I met Allie at 2019 Absolution Fest. Oh, yeah, I'll take this back for a second. And I remember talking to you at the bar after your set, and you were talking about like I think at that point you only had like so much time off left for work and stuff that you could take, and but you guys are touring like crazy. Has this gotten to a point for you guys that you can 100% focus on the band, or is this still like the hobby where you just get to briefly live out your dreams as rock stars?
It was.
So are you
it was,
part-time
It was never a
folks?
hobby. It was never a hobby. Even with having a full-time job, this is still another full-time job. Like
Yeah.
we're constantly working on stuff and constantly thinking about every tiny little aspect of the whole thing. Like we treat it all very seriously, even though we are a bunch of assholes.
Well, yeah, it's also the state of the music industry too. So this is not to be too off track, but a lot of the thing about music now is not the economy of it's a lot different than it used to be for a long time. So to Barrett's point, like it's not a hobby, but it's also not a full-time job because it's like you're basically always trying to find the balance of.
It's very hard to get any kind of
Survive.
sustenance
Yeah.
out of it. Like,
Yeah.
And that's fine for us. Like we really just we enjoy the whole experience, and that's really what it's all about. Is just getting it out there and playing the shows and meeting the people and connecting. That's really what it's all about. It's not about making the money. I mean, yeah, it would be great to just do this, but that's not the state of things. So whatever, it's fine. We're used to it, and we're going to keep doing it. So.
And that wasn't to try to get too personal or detract from anything, but
Let's get more.
because it's very good, but it's really nice and refreshing when you meet bands that you're doing it because it's your passion, and that really comes through with your performances on stage. So thank you for that.
If that wasn't true, we would have stopped doing it a long time
Yeah.
ago. Because we've been to hell and back, and
You have
the
to really
best of times and the worst of times.
You have to really want the job, to be honest. And I
Yeah.
think that, we've been at music for a long time, and it's because
We have to.
Even the
It's a-
worst of times are great.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah. So
we're
whatever.
in for it all,
Yeah,
and we've really, especially us two, have been through everything.
Yeah, I'll take a sleeping bag in Bordeaux anytime. She knows what I'm talking about. That's for the OnlyFans content.
Yeah.
Hit me up, yeah. But no, it's honestly, I feel very lucky to have had so many wonderful and crazy experiences, and it was all through music, meeting people, so many friends, wonderful people, not just like some of the best friends of my life from all these things. So it's a great privilege for me to stand up there and have people dance with me. Yeah.
Very cool. Anything to add, Kelly?
No, I think that's quite a high note to wrap up the
Awesome.
interview.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
Thank you.
Hold on. My favorite Ninja Turtle is Michelangelo.
that is important information.
Michelangelo.
Well,
Pretty cool.
Bootblacks, thank you so much
Yes,
for
thank
taking
you
the
so
time
much.
to speak with us. Thank you everyone for watching. This is the Bootblacks edition of Obscura
Obscura
Undead.
Undead.
I'm Cadaver Kelly.
And I am Ian.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
spare the